discuss this all further, I'm now joined by Matthew RJ Brodsky, a Middle East and geopolitical analyst at Wikistrat. Matthew, thanks so much for being with us.
Good to be with you.
Now, looking at Raqqa, we're hearing about major gains already, and it seems like this battle is going much quicker than the simultaneous battle to retake Mosul. Would you say that perception is correct, first of all? And if so, why is it going faster?
Well, Mosul is bigger. The layout of the city is different. But I wouldn't say, while both campaigns in Mosul and Raqqa are very close to completion, I think Raqqa still has some more time to go. You know, the closer you get toward the end, the more street by street they're going to run into more problems. As far as the U.S. trained and equipped fighting forces in Syria, obviously the Kurdish forces and the YPG, which is of course part of the Syrian Democratic Forces, are doing quite well. But you know, it's a tough slog, as has been said before.
Certainly, and just comparing the battle to retake both of these cities, as you said, simultaneously going on, both U.S.-backed forces in some senses. How are these battles different, and how are they the same? And they're obviously not the same battle, and we're seeing different strategies, as you said, different layouts of the cities, but all against the same group.
Right. Well, I think in Syria, well, first of all, from an American perspective in Iraq, there's, you know, the ghost of the past of the United States having spent so much blood and treasure in there. So it's a different mindset that the United States has there versus going in Syria. In Syria, the fact is that the mad dash that Iran is making for how the state is going to look in any type of aftermath, because after ISIS and after Raqqa, that doesn't mean it's the end of the Islamic State, and it doesn't mean that it's the end of the Civil War. So there's still far more for the United States to do, and I think that the United States doesn't know as much what the future is going to hold in Syria than they can gather or guess from Iraq and from past experience.
Certainly. Now, honing in on what you just said about the future of Syria, big question up in the air, and we know that peace talks are going on in Astana right now between the different Syrian parties. First of all, is there any expectation that something positive will come out of this, and have we seen anything significant so far?
Well, yeah, something positive will come out of it for the three nations that are there. For Turkey, Iran, and Russia, they'll have a good go at it, and they'll create for themselves whatever favorable deconfliction zones, whatever amendments they want to make to it. As far as what it does for the United States, it doesn't do a whole lot. I think this administration, the Trump administration, understands something that the Obama administration doesn't, and that's, in the end, when it comes to any kind of negotiated settlement, where you sit at the table is going to be based a lot on where you stand in the ground, and that specifically in Syria, it all has to do with what territory one holds. And since there's a mad dash there, the United States is aware of that and is trying to secure areas, as it seems now, in eastern Syria before Iran does. And that is something that's going to make a difference later, because essentially the whole gathering that they're having right now with Russia and Iran and Turkey, it's geared toward what is the end game going to look like.
Certainly. As you said, so many questions now about the end game, about the future of Syria and Iraq, for that matter. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
And the American